Okay, these are quadratic applications. We'll need the calculators for these. Punts a football 2 foot from the ground, and the ball leaves the velocity with an initial velocity of 45 feet per second. They will give you this formula. This right here will be our velocity, and this will be the height. Okay, so we want to graph the function, include the y-intercept, the vertex, and the x-intercept. So we got to find all these from the graph, okay? So let's find out what the graph's going to be. The graph's going to be y equals negative 16x squared. The initial velocity is 45, and we're working at 2 foot. So we're going to graph this into the calculator. Okay, so I'm going to put my calculator here. I'm going to hit delete, delete, delete. Think of a bad thought and delete it out of your brain. Ho, 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 ho. Hit the tab button, and then negative 16x squared plus 45x plus 2. Do I have it right? Negative 16x squared plus 45x plus 2. Enter. Okay, I get a graph that looks like this. Hit menu 5, 1. We're at graph trace. Notice my 0 is right here, and it is, well, that's a 0. Right here is my y-intercept. Okay. The y-intercept's got to be 0, 2. So over here, my y-intercept is 0, 2. Okay, the vertex, so I'm going to keep hitting the right arrow button until I get to the max. And right here is my maximum. My maximum is 1.41 and 33.6. So at 1.41 seconds, we're at 33.6 feet. And the x-intercept, I'm going to keep going back down till I get to my 0, which is right here, 2.86, 0. 2.86, 0. And remember, that funky number to the right means you can't get exactly 0. So technically it would be 0. So when will the ball hit the ground? At 2.86 seconds. Now that it's important you could draw what this graph looks like. I'm kind of moving this. Okay, so the graph's going to start right here at 2. The graph goes up and then down. You need this point, you need this point, and you need this point. That's going to help us define our domain and range. This point would be 0, 2. This point right here is 1.41. And then comma 33.6, and this point right here is 2.86, 0. Okay, the y-intercept of the graph represents the starting height. That's how high the football was when it was kicked. The x-intercept of the graph, that x-intercept right here is 2.86 seconds equals 0 feet. Or it's when the ball hits the ground, right? The vertex represents the max height. The domain will go from the left box to the right box, and it's going to go from that x to that x. So our domain, it goes from 0 to 2.86, and you put less than or equal signs. The range goes from the bottom box to the top box. It goes from this box to this box, and you use the y's. So the range goes from 0 to 33.6. How high is the ball after 0.8 seconds? So you're going to go back to your calculator and just type in 0.8, enter, make sure you're in trace, and it goes to the 0.8. So at 0.8, it's 27.8 feet. So 0.8 seconds is 27.8 feet. Make sure you can do that.